Where is it?
About a walk-in grant.
Awesome. Dragging in. All right, here we go. Good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Spalding County Board of Commissioners work session. It is Monday, January 8th, 2024 at 3 p.m. This time I would request that everyone silence their cell phones and all electronic devices. I'd like to ask the county manager to lead us in the invocation and Commissioner Johnson to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Please pray with me. Father God, thank you for this brand new year. Lord, we give it to you and pray that you would lead us as we walk this journey forward with our county. Pray, Lord, that you would be in this meeting, that you would lead, guide, and direct us where you would have us to go and accomplish the business that you've got before us. We pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
If you would please face the flag, lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 4, agenda items. Discuss the need to appoint 2 commissioner members to actively engage in the Spalding County Water and Sewage Facilities Authority Sewer Utility Steering Group Committee. These individuals will play a pivotal role in establishing the sewer utility. Involvement would include, but not limited to, the formation of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Water Authority and Spalding County and the drafting of the sewer use ordinance language concerning legal authority provisions and protocols. You got anything you need to say about it? At this point, I'd like to suggest that it is Commissioner Flowers-Taylor and Commissioner Bolden. Comments or questions about that?
I'm excited. I've been talking about it.
Okay.
He's excited.
I'd love to do it.
All right. Thank you. We're moving on. Item 2, review the recommendation from the Parks and Leisure Services Advisory Commission to refuse to the offer to accept the property at the Old Spring Sewer Plant. Okay.
Is anybody here from Leisure Services?
Yes.
Kelly's in the back.
Oh, hey, Kelly. Happy New Year.
Glad to be here, actually.
Uh,
We brought this item before the Parks and Leisure Advisory Commission at their last meeting, and all voted in favor of refusing the offer, and one voted against that.
That would have been me.
Okay. Could
And I-
we-
Yeah.
The discussion revolved around not having the funds and not foreseeing funds for which to take care of the property in the meantime while it's just not being used.
Okay, so this issue is, we've got dirt, ground, that we've got, that is always worth something.
Exactly.
And the pro is we've got good dirt money. The con is it's gonna cost us money to cut it, develop, keep going on a routinely maintenance issue. Okay?
So, the reason that I voted against the recommendation for Leisure Services is because, first of all, we don't buy land for recreation. Now, we did buy land at Dundee Lake Park, but to my knowledge, most of the other land has been given to us. This piece of property is 23 acres, and at least half of it is woodland. It's land. It's 10 acres or more. So, as a water authority, we've really not fence that in so that people can't have access to it. And, you know, we talk about, well, if the hole fills up with water, what is the difference in that hole and when I'm talking about the hole, they got these big circular
Right.
things that if the hole fills up with water, we're at risk if someone goes in there. But we got the quarry over there, there's a big old hole in the ground, and we don't have a fence up over that. So that was my concern, is that someone wants to give us property. If we want to subdivide the property and sell it to whoever it is trying to buy the other Springs property, that's fine. But undeveloped green space in that area, I just can't see how we could just say, no, we don't want that. Because the same way that we provide, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing at the skate park. We were all bent out of shape because if somebody fell and hit their head, and we just put a sign up that says you use this at your own risk. If we put a fence up around it, there's a fence up around it already, and we put notifications up that you're not supposed to be in here, you're trespassing, have we not done everything that we could? So I don't know what the acreage cost in that area at this time, but I just cannot see us not accepting land when we don't know if 10 years down the road, we're gonna need those 10 acres that are undeveloped. Just as an aside, and we didn't discuss this at Park and Leisure Services, we had a water authority meeting one morning, and we were talking about this piece of property, and one of the water authority members had brought a developer who owned the other piece of property that was adjacent to that, to the meeting. So clearly somebody is interested in maybe doing something on that piece of property. If it's a matter of us selling it, that's fine, but you know, I know that we don't have the money, and I think, to TJ's point, he is concerned about our budget now, but I think as a Board of Commissioners, we have to think much further out. We've not received any tax revenue from it, so nothing's really gonna change there. But at some time, we may be actually able to sell that property when the rest of the property is developed, or may have the possibility of selling the portion that we're talking about we need fixing. So
Could I ask what is the long-term benefit? Have we looked at that? I hear what you're saying, it makes good sense. But, you know, what would be, just thinking out loud here, the plan for that would provide us with some type of economic stimulus to us if we had that? I would think it would be sizable, I don't know, but I mean, I'm thinking long-term as well.
I mean, that is a piece of, everything around the water authority property is owned privately. There's this huge building up there that somebody tried to burn up one time, and, you know, other than people throwing rocks in the building, it is sitting there. So there's lots of land that is potential for development. I don't think that we are the trigger
Right.
for that. And the reason I say that is that part of what we did as a water authority was spent the last 3 years putting sewer in that community, basically trying to do what it was that the city of Griffin did, change the infrastructure, and then developers come in and either fix the houses up or build new homes. We have seen no movement. We finished phase 2 of that. But it's available should someone want to
Sure,
come and develop
sure.
on the other side. I'd rather see us accept the property and not do anything till we come up with a master plan. But like I said, at the end of the day, once you give it away, and maybe we can't do anything on the water part of it at this time, maybe we can't do the demo or whatever else, but we can fence it up, but 10 acres of green space that is fully treed, I just don't see us saying, no, we don't want that. We don't have any real development, any parks over in that Mill Village area, not even a pocket park. So I think it would be a potential opportunity for that. I just didn't agree with,
Okay,
because I felt like they were only looking at the microcosm of it and not the much
Bigger
bigger
issue,
picture,
okay.
which is
So
what
what,
we paint.
is this gonna come up in the meeting tonight? Are we voting on it? I mean, we're not, she's already, what's the issue?
Meeting for the 22nd.
That's
Oh,
correct.
the
It's on,
20th. Okay,
it's
so
on
we've
the
got some
next
time.
meeting.
we've got some time.
We've got some time.
This is
I
just
kind of look at it.
Okay.
us to talk about it and see different points.
All right.
Let me ask our real estate expert, thoughts on this, not as a county attorney, but as a real estate expert. I'm considering Stephanie a real estate expert at this time. I'd like to hear thoughts.
I would agree that as long as there's signage there that says that there's, enter at your own risk, basically. And the only issue, I think, would be the maintenance of it. At some point, given the fact that there is sewer in that area, it's a developable piece of property that, depending on what comes in the next 5 years, could have,
Right.
a lot of
That's
value
what I
for
want to
y'all.
hear.
I think there's an opportunity for us to go back to the Water Authority and ask them some questions as well. The challenge is, was the Water Authority affording the county the opportunity to have property for a park with conditions that if we made the decision to sell that piece of property, that it would revert back to the Water Authority because it's theirs, it's not ours. If that's the case, then there's some more discussion that we need to have between us and the Water
That's true.
Authority.
If the donation is conditional upon use, then you
Yeah.
certainly need to have further discussion.
As far as I know, the
I
offer was not
honestly don't
made with any
recall.
conditions. So, I feel like as a water authority member, it's another thing on the checkoff list that we know that we're not gonna do anything with that. And they're saying to us, can y'all do something with it, or would you like to have it so you could do something with it? So, yeah, I think it's important, but I feel pretty certain that we did not have the attention as the authority to put stipulations on that. We decided as a board, we're not gonna be able to do anything with it. Let's see if the county wants to.
Because there's expense involved. If the water authority keeps it, then they do have to, then they need to get it in a developable condition. And
Right.
there's a lot of expense that could be involved in that for the portion of it that was used.
And I think
Not
that
really.
we're probably in a position, if we were to take possession of it, that we could actually ask a realtor to see if there's someone interested in buying that property, or buying a piece of that property. My biggest thing is the green space. That's parkland all day to me, and nobody's giving us land that's got trees on it, or maybe a stream.
Okay, I happen to see that the general manager is back from the Water Authority. Have you got any comments you'd like to make at this time? Joseph Johnson, I'm trying to get everybody who has anything to say about it, this is the time.
Right.
Good afternoon. So I actually received a email offer today from a realtor to purchase that piece of property. So it does have value. But to Ms. Gwynn's statement, I don't believe the board put any conditions on that property.
I thought maybe I had forgotten that part. Okay, all right. Any other questions or comments? We've got a couple weeks before we're going to look at this again.
So
And-
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, let me take my county commissioner hat on, put my water authority hat back on. Okay, so if somebody wants to buy that from the water authority, I'm not gonna say that the water authority is a taker-backer, but we might be a taker-backer.
Well, I think we understand.
That's called rescinding the offer.
Right, I'm saying, because once they find out there's money, because before we thought it wasn't money,
I call
so,
it something else.
yeah.
But anyway.
So now that we're interested,
Right.
the dynamics have changed. And as a water authority person, I don't think that the water authority loves the county enough to just give them some money. Okay, here, you guys, you talk to them, you can give them the money and buy it, so.
There was
Yeah.
not.
It's just open-ended.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't hear that.
I just asked if there was a time limit on the offer.
Oh, and there is not, right?
There's not.
Okay. All right. Anybody need anything else before, and county manager, if you'll just kind of give us any information that comes up, same thing with you, general manager, that you provide us anything before we get ready to vote. Okay, thank you. Item number 3, review appointments of the Spalding County Board, councils, commissions, committees, and authorities. All right, this is a pretty long list. I'm going to try to kind of go through it and at least identify issues that are going to come up before, and maybe we can move. There is a football game on, I understand, tonight.
I would like for us to get right through this thing. then.
Okay, good. All right. We're going to, if you haven't got we'll try to walk through this. Elect a chairman. We all square on that, what that's going to look like. All right. Elect a vice chairman. We'll look and talk about that all the way through, but all right.
Mr. Chairman, on the election of the chairman, just so y'all know, I did my annual refresher from Robert's Rules last night, so since I usually do that.
Yes.
And I will just be asking for a motion to open nominations, and then it doesn't require a second, so there's just a vote after that. There's not necessary a motion to close the nominations. Once
Okay.
y'all are finished nominating, I'll just call for the vote, and
Okay.
then I will hand it back over to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Appointments. Appointing Dr. Ledbetter as the county manager.
Do we elect a vice chair, or does the chairman appoint the vice chair?
Elect.
Elect.
Okay.
And just a couple things I need to talk about, but yes, okay.
Okay.
So county manager, Dr. Ledbetter, appoint him as the county clerk for '24. Everybody understands this has to do with, unless there's a happy Christmas present or something. Okay.
Esther, how many days?
She going to the
Is
house.
today 32 days? 31 days. Okay. Appoint Kathy Gibson as the county clerk. I'm going to kind of read through these till we start to get into something. All right. Appoint Ms. Wyndham as the county attorney. Appoint Newton Galloway as the zoning attorney. And consider the master contract for the human resource attorney. Why are we doing just him?
And I have, I've got concerns about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah, I'll let you just say it.
No, I just,
I think this is one or all. Let's be real honest about it.
say it, what do you mean?
I think this is, we do all the
Okay.
master service agreements.
All right,
Or, I don't know
Forget
why
it.
we would pick one
that's right.
and not do the rest.
Well, there's reason to pick, we do this if there's reason. I mean,
Yep.
I'm just saying that. This here has reason. I'm just being honest here, because I had to deal with this year. And it's probably, I don't know when the last time we've had to deal with it in the course of the years that we've had this master service agreement. And I didn't find the benefit, to be honest with you. So, I hear what you're saying, if we do one, we do them all. But I think if you go through here, if there's reason and just cause, I just think there should be.
This one specifically.
Yeah.
What are all the master services? Are we talking about, contracting, like with, for engineering? Are we talking about a master services agreement? Is that the same thing that we have for our IT? I mean.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good question.
What is the list? If we're gonna do one, then they all should.
Because we just have him the firm listed here. We don't have them all. So when you say master service agreement, it says with the county human resources attorney. It doesn't say all of them.
Yeah, but the question is, all or, I was thinking it was gonna be all or none. Or are we gonna put out an RFP?
Because we don't have a situation right now, and I know that Rita and James had to, they felt like they were pulling teeth and not getting what they needed to get
I felt like I was.
in order to be able to do what they
Yep.
needed to do.
If it is all whatever, I guess I'm okay with just.
I felt like, maybe we can't get this kind of legal service here locally. But I don't think that this is the only person playing this ball game in the state.
Is it just as simple as a situation where we could just meet with, and say, hey, look, and maybe we can do our own review with them.
If-
You know,
if
I
the
would like to
board-
expect something different next year.
Yes, ma'am. If the board is so inclined to table this for this appointment for this evening, we will bring you some recommendations at the January 22nd meeting.
But what other kind of master services contracts do we have?
We have Paragon. Who else do we have? We've got SME for, I don't think SME's under a master service agreement. I think that we contract with them because they are very small.
And see,
They take care of our
Paragon's
EPD
fine.
Who's
requirements.
S&E?
Mary Stacy takes care of our
Landfill.
EPD landfill.
So we don't have any
requirements.
issues with her, I guess
We do
that.
not.
So
She's-
why can't we just kind of just have a conversation with them and just say, hey,
Okay.
I'd hate to go through the whole thing, but just say, hey, look, they need to be, just me to be made aware, you know, that when we need them and call on them, we expect them to be there.
And
Okay?
I do think it's a matter of use, because it's not, Mr. Lowry is not somebody that we call upon very frequently throughout the
Exactly.
year. I mean, it may be one or two times, if that, and then there are other firms that, the Human Resources Director actually refers things out to, other than Mr. Lowry, so it's,
So he's about $600 an hour though, isn't he?
no idea.
Well,
He-
that's
have-
what I'm talking about.
I haven't reviewed his
So-
MSA,
So
so I
let
don't
me
have
ask,
any idea.
even in that situation, did we pay him?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not
We
an
didn't work it out.
attorney, but 15 minutes equals an hour.
We didn't get that much.
I'm just saying that I might be completely
Actually,
wrong.
15 minutes equals .3, so,
But my point being is that we've had him a long time. I'm sure he is not the only litigator that can offer us information. But at the same time, why should we have a conversation with him when we still haven't done what we wanted to do about master services agreement for IT and computers? We've said that for 2 years. We've not bid a single thing out. So if there is a list of master services that people provide to us, I think we owe each one of them the same opportunity to say where we are with them. And if we feel like we need to RFP it,
Okay, we can do a workshop with them and just bring each one of them in and be able to, we can
That's fine.
talk just privately with them to be able to do that.
I just want them
as much as we
particularly to
can.
be, just to be
One-on-one.
aware.
All
That's
right.
what I want.
So we'll table this tonight. The answer is tabling it tonight for him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to make sure all of us, okay?
also I wanted to say, I know Newton's out here, and I don't even know if he knew it. But say to Stephanie, I'm really sorry that there was a misunderstanding, because I had completely forgotten that last year we told you guys, give us 90 days and the RFP was gonna happen, and here we are, 365 days again, saying the same thing. Not that you said anything, but it's just the not knowing.
Yeah, I think we voted not to do that. I think it was a 3-2 vote, just so everybody knows, not to move forward on the RFP process.
Okay, maybe I missed that meeting, maybe you did too, because based on the email that you sent us, I'm
the
still.
meeting that he's talking about, we were there. He's talking about the meeting where we were appointed, the first meeting last year, where it was discussed, because an RFP actually was out, it just wasn't, time
Right.
to submit yet.
At the appropriate time
Right.
that we were doing the
Right,
appointment.
it was
So we
just, it went out
stopped it.
later.
We voted not to do the process anymore, but if we want to do that, we just need to. bring-
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. I don't think that we meant to do it to kind of keep you hanging out on the
Oh, no.
wire, but time just went away,
Yeah, it did.
and here we were again.
Sure, no, I don't think that at all. It's,
Okay.
2023 was quite a year.
Okay.
Okay, Mr.
So we're tabling number 6. All right. Appointment of citizens to the Board of Appeals and Adjustments Unsafe Building. I'm saying 2 people, Byer and Epps. You can pull your books out if you want to, however you want to do that, to look at it. As far as I know, as long as I've been around just about, I've never seen this group meet.
That's the first 2 on this list, right? It says Board
Byers
of
and
Appeals and
Epps.
just, uh-huh,
Yeah, yes.
okay.
I'm sorry,
think it's
Kathy,
the only
can you
two
pull
that
that,
are
can you pull that
on
up on
the
here?
book- in the book for that.
Can you pull that list up on here? No, you can't, that's fine. I didn't bring it.
me to share with you?
That's all right, I got it, I can have it tonight, I just didn't
Okay.
have my computer with me.
Uh,
Correct, they're the only two in the book.
Okay, that's the only two in the book, so
Okay.
consider appointment to the Griffin Area Transportation Committee. Just a minute, I'm sorry. Okay, that is just a whole series. We're going to put McNeely, he wants to stay there. Frank Harris wants to stay. Then we reaffirm all the people that are Harlan Smith, Bruce Ballard, Tommy Kennedy, Jeffrey Dean, David Lucky, Cindy Jones, Harvey Booker. We just reappoint those same people.
Okay.
So, just as a question, why is that appointment just 1 year?
The representatives.
Uh-huh.
Are, I don't know why everybody else, but the representatives, I guess, would be just because their time might change, because it's based on their role, their job in the community. I'm not sure why, the regular at-large members, Mr. Harris and Mr. McNeely, would just be 1 year.
That's what the bylaws say.
Yeah, we did look at all the bylaws, and the bylaws do state that it's a one-year appointment.
Okay, but whose bylaws? There are bylaws, right?
GSAT-C.
GSAT-C.
Okay, GSAT-C set the bylaws. Okay, now, I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
All right, so all of that one is all gone?
Okay, I got a question. So, I'm looking over here at Ryan. I know you was on that last year and may or may not have attended well, but according to, you and James were both on that board, and I just don't know that you or James really had the time to do that.
No, I didn't. That's a later on when we do.
No, but what I want to say is that, I think it's okay to say that you can't do it. Because
Look.
if it's a chairman's appointment, it is a chairman's appointment, and he can appoint someone otherwise. So I'm saying that to say that if in fact you are not going to be able to do it this year, or James is, I have solicited someone who would be willing to sit in one of their spots so that would alleviate them having to worry about being at that meeting.
When we get there, this is, I'm looking over at that, I can appoint for the GSAT-C, the chairman's designee can be anybody, it does not have to be a commissioner. Okay, Stephanie can look.
Without looking at their bylaws, I don't know.
Yeah, we've gone through each one, and we've highlighted which ones are required by the BOC, which is required by the chief, the chairman or the chairperson.
Okay, when we get to that,
in-
we'll pull that person up to be able to.
Absolutely, we've gone through that exercise.
Okay,
The airport authority, it is specific to
Yes.
members.
Yes, I knew that one is, okay.
That's why they're working very diligently to change
Amend
that.
the legislation.
okay.
All right, item number 3 that I'm working on is the Griffin Spalding Development Authority. Gardner wants to come off, Palmer wants to stay.
And how many people do we have in the book right now for that?
Just a second, counting.
1, 2, 4.
2, 4. All right, I think this is, just so we're talking about the same people. William, Cora.
Okay, take Cora's name off.
Cora's not here. It is William Wilson, Michelle Drugaz, Judy Parker, and Howard Ayers are in the book, but only William Wilson's name has been signed by the commissioners.
Okay, so,
So that is to succeed Tom Gardner.
That's correct.
correct.
Okay.
All right, we're, okay. I'm just kind of rolling through here. So
Sure.
stop
All
me
right,
if you
you're good.
want to do something. All right. Consider appointment to the Hospital Authority. One position.
And I have another recommendation for the hospital authority. 35-year history at Tennant and Wellstar BSN. Lived and worked in the community her whole life.
Is this the lady?
Got it.
Oh, okay, yes.
Wonderful.
No, because it's in my hand. Well, to be given to you.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so we have two in the book now for this.
That's correct.
All right, okay. Thank you for that. All right, McIntosh Trail, CSB, Connie to be reappointed. We agree? Okay. Consider,
And
Board
that's you as well, Mr. Chairman, right?
Yeah, yes.
You're automatically on there.
We-
And that's, those appointments are later on.
Yes,
That's under
yes.
number 7.
Right.
Okay.
The next one is the Board of Health. Cynthia filled a position, Cynthia Tidwell filled a position that was vacant. She wants to continue to stay on it, so she's a reappointment. I'm on that also. And then Keith Simmons, we just approve whoever the school board person is. So we do Keith.
So do we appoint him, or is he just the automatic because he's on the school board?
We do the reaffirmation of him being on the board.
Okay.
All right. Then we've got the Ethics Review Board, and I think everybody is,
Got their.
got theirs in.
Yes.
Thank you. That's-
Great job, and thank you.
We haven't had that in a while. All right. Next one is the Park and Rec Advisory. Both of them belong to Commissioner Dutton. He's got one in there that he is, who's being reappointed, and then he's got a blank that has been a blank for a while.
No, he actually submitted someone for that one.
Oh, did he?
It's in the book?
There's 2 in the book for these, yes.
Okay. I'm looking.
No?
They are in the book, they're not signed.
Well, he can sign them when he comes in tonight.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if they're his appointments, it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good, because as a leisure services person, it's gonna be really important that this year when we do our leisure services master plan, we need input from every area of the county.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, then the next one is, but those are his appointments to be able to do that. Next one is the Personnel Appeals Board. We're going to reappoint Stanley Washington and Lewis Patterson. I'm just putting the names out there that I think. And then we have a blank position.
Clay, what about Mr. James Campbell?
He didn't respond that he wanted to remain on the board.
Okay.
That was a no response.
So we need 2 appointments for that. So barring that, we will probably just have to be able to approve 2 tonight, you think, and then just table the others until we can.
I think we only have one additional in the book,
Two.
Judy Battle.
Judy Battle. I don't know her.
I don't
Okay,
either.
so we're pretty square on that. We just have to, we may have a blank there for a while. Okay.
Okay.
Consider Library Board, the reappointment of Virginia Church, Kay Weidman, Barbara Jo Cook, D'Angelo Booker Williams. All of those want to get reappointed. Do we have an extra?
Nancy Morris didn't respond, so.
Okay.
She's, I spoke with Natalie Marshall, and Nancy Morris would not be one that
And I
would want to
think-
continue.
I think we have one person in the book. I'm just trying to,
I'm looking.
no, keep taking
One.
one. Got to get to the right tab.
We actually have 2,
Okay. Mike Greenwald and Judy.
Judy Battle.
Okay. All right. I know Mike Greenwald, and I'm standing by him. All right.
Okay.
We'll go on through this. Item number 11, consider appointment of the Spalding County Water Sewage Facility, reappointment of me as a citizen, reappointment of Jeff Brandon as just a reappointment, and then a need to
Phil.
replace Cheryl Matlock.
We have 3 in the book.
Okay, who are they?
Cal Oxford, Pamela Sutton, and Michelle Drugas. There are two signed, and that would be Cal Oxford and Pamela Sutton.
Okay.
I
Okay,
am, I submitted Miss Sutton's name in the book. I know her from the Land Bank Authority. She's, a manager supervisor for Delta Airlines, getting close to her retirement. She's been very involved with the Land Bank, but I think that her intelligence is being wasted there as a
okay.
volunteer. And so that's why, I submitted her for the Water Authority because I don't want this to
No,
sound
that's
bad.
okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm submitting Cal Oxford. He's been on the Water Authority before, for years, and he is a money guy, and Cheryl was our Finance Committee person, so this is a one-for-one to be able to do this. I understand,
So this person would be doing the money? They would be?
No,
Or would you,
no,
or y'all?
Cheryl was actually the bylaws lady.
she was the Finance.
She was also chair of the finance committee.
She was the chair
Was
of the.
she on the Finance Committee?
Chair.
Yes, she chaired it. And then you actually chaired the bylaws committee. She chaired it before, but
Okay,
then
what did Dick chair?
He's the
the
planning.
planning and development.
Oh, okay.
So this is a replacement of that,
Cheryl,
Spot.
Cheryl, what?
Yes.
so you all don't go in and vote your own, you just, we're replacing that person that
No,
that
no,
was.
we don't replace a finance person.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
is, I
we
mean,
just
you
put
know,
somebody on there, and
it could
then,
Okay.
just be somebody that walked in off the street, but because we're really moving forward, we need somebody who is going to be showing up
Mhm.
and showing out.
Who?
And so, and I don't mean showing out in a bad way.
nope, we got it.
We got enough of that on
That-
our
That's,
own.
that's, just so everybody's, it's gonna be a choice between those two to be able to do it, for whatever reason. All right. Item number 12 for me is consider appointment to the Two Rivers RC&D Council. This is, Mr. Meadows, he, was the chairman, continues to want to stay on and do that. I don't think any of us, we don't have anybody else in the book to do that.
We do not.
All right, so we'll continue to go with him. Reappointment to the Land Bank. Ms. Gwynn, Land Bank.
I think I submitted the paperwork. I changed my request from the paperwork and I submitted Cora Flowers' name. Recently served on the City of Griffin as a commissioner, lives in the area where most of the land bank houses are located,
We all good with Cora?
and a big brain.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Cora, just a minute, let me write that down so I've got that one, because I had Ms. Gwynn.
Not that she got that from me. She got that from somebody else.
I don't think that's a true statement you said. All right. Appointments for chairman or designee. Let's see here. First one is Chamber. I'm going
I'll
through-
continue.
yep, yes, I'm just walking through.
Yes.
And if you say something,
And me and DeAndre got a good thing going on with the chamber, so.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Do you get a chance to attend many of the ribbon cuttings?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's, I don't get a chance to do that, so.
Now, was there anybody who has talked to James about this?
About the downtown council,
No, about
The
the.
chamber?
The chamber.
I
had-
don't
is he-
think he got time to do that.
No, I wanted to make sure he hadn't voiced his opinion to somebody besides me, and he would have voiced it to you. Okay,
And didn't you guys switch last year?
No, we switched downtown council and Main Street.
Okay.
okay, so right now, we're planning on,
Has he said anything about that?
no, I
Okay.
just wanted to make
Oh,
sure. he
downtown
has-
council, not
Yeah.
chamber.
All right, so he's on, that's Rita and DeAndre.
Yes,
Consider appointment to the Downtown Council, that's James.
that's James.
Main Street, Rita.
That's me.
The Transportation Board. All right, now let's kind of go through this. Ryan said earlier, he doesn't have time to do this, so I'm going to scratch that off. I want to talk about that in just a second.
You know, I got all kind of papers down here.
Ah. Okay. Gwen, you want to continue to be on the, my designee on the transportation, GSATC?
You know what? Am I your designee on that?
I didn't know that. I thought it was,
I thought it was, so that makes 3 commissioners on there.
I thought it was James and Ryan, but it turned,
Well, it's a
James
good-
was an alternate. Last year, he just said that if Ryan couldn't make it, he would try to make it. But he didn't get appointed.
okay.
Okay, so he wasn't supposed to be at the meeting. Well, hey, okay, well, I'm glad I would try to
All right.
show up then.
Good, all right,
You're
you're
not
gonna be, you're gonna be at, then.
Okay, yes.
Okay, yes, okay. Then let's, continuing on, we're gonna appoint the sheriff to be on there. Steve, gonna continue to appoint Steve on there, Glenn Polk on there, and we'll have to replace Charles Reese, and my answer is at this time to put TJ on there.
Oh, what about Eva?
What?
Oh, could Eva do it?
Well, this is my thought about that.
Or maybe does Eva want to do it?
She has her hands and her pocketbook completely full right
Okay.
now.
Her backpack is absolutely,
Is that correct, Eva?
Full of rocks.
Okay, I would like to
Oh,
hear that
is
from
she
you.
in here? Okay, yeah, girl, I'm trying to look out for you.
Okay.
But my
got a lot.
concern is that TJ's got even more stuff.
But
I-
he's usually at the meeting.
That's what I was gonna say. He comes anyway because the roads and blah, blah, blah,
And
and
he
he kind
briefs.
of updates us.
routinely he briefs.
So, yeah,
So he's-
I mean, I just
he's
hate
there
putting
anyway.
another thing on him, but
He's
if
But
already
he's there
doing it.
anyway, then
yeah,
it's not.
All
okay,
right.
all right, gotcha.
And let me tell you, some of these, as far as I'm concerned, if we don't like the partway through, we just change them. It's my
Okay.
designee and I can just change
Can
them.
I ask somebody if they would be, I'm just gonna say, what about the warden? The warden, would you be interested in something like this?
Say no.
He said, who, me?
Would you be interested? Okay, I hear you loud and clear.
He's giving an Eva answer.
Great.
Okay. Next one is the Spalding Development Authority. I'll continue to have James be on that. Appointment to the Hospital Authority, that will be me, continuing on with that. McIntosh Trail, that will be me, continuing on with that. Spalding County Board of Health, that will be me, continuing on with that. All right, the Collaborative,
That will not be me.
huh?
That will not be me.
All right, do you have another sheet?
I put a sheet in the book this morning for the collaborative. Donald Taylor, who loves the collaborative,
Yeah.
and already goes to all the meetings, even though he's not on there, would love to serve on
He'd be a
that
good
board.
one.
All right, now,
He's
so
a vet
first,
liaison and the housing, he served on the housing initiative during COVID and the tornado with the collaborative.
okay, we're going to put Miss McCray, law enforcement, on there. She will just replace Irma on there. And then the replacement for Rita, my designee. How many people are in the book right now? Just take your time.
There's 2.
There are 2.
Michelle,
Yep.
Who?
Michelle's with
Uh-huh.
Juliet.
Is she
and-
signed?
It is
Okay.
not.
All right, so there's only one.
Signed.
Don,
Don Taylor.
right now, I'm planning when we vote tonight to make Don my representative, because I think we can make anybody we want to on there. Okay. If we find out later we can't, we'll back out and find somebody else. Consider appointment to the Park and Rec. Gwen, you continue.
I would love to continue to serve on Park and Rec.
Good, thank you. Consider the Water Authority. Ms. Gwen, that's still you?
Yay, thank
Good.
you.
Consider appointment to the Three Rivers Commission and Board.
That would be
that's-
me if
yep.
nobody else was trying to go.
Consider Two Rivers RC&D. We'll leave Mr. Dutton on that. Consider the West Central Workforce. That has to be me, by the way it's written, I understand. Consider reappointment of Glenn Polk as the Spalding Emergency Management Director. I thought I saw Glenn back there.
He's
Yeah,
back there.
Okay.
So is that a committee or?
No,
It's
that
just a
is,
position.
it is a position that our code of ordinance requires appointment.
Somebody's got to be, this.
But don't we have a EMA
EMA director? We do.
department, period?
We do.
And that's his job,
That is correct.
but he got to be appointed to that job that he got hired to do.
That is correct. According to our current ordinance, we have to make that appointment. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, the last item I have here is the Water and Sewer
Steering committee.
Steering Committee, which we've already addressed with Rita and Ryan.
No, Gwen and Brian.
I mean, excuse me, yes, Gwen and Ryan, get the names here correct. All right, then we're gonna do citizen comments. All right, that eliminates, yeah.
Other than the,
So.
Board of Assessors.
Okay.
My question, I know that we had the Board of Assessors to come to us and we decided not to do this, to table it until this. I'm not understanding why we just don't have them in with all the appointments and why we have them as something separate.
Stagger, because under the consent agenda, we're gonna stagger the terms. Then under old business.
Oh, okay, so we're
From
gonna
the table.
rename some stuff and then make the
Yeah, because
appointment.
remember, we got two of them, and we said we
Right,
never
we're
wanted that
changing.
to happen
Okay,
again.
okay, all right, got it.
Now, okay, then we're gonna go into, just.
And the agenda actually says new appointments are for 6-year terms. That's not correct. The new
Okay.
appointments are gonna be based on the resolution that you pass.
Right.
One of them will be 4 years, one of them will be 5.
And we have to list it as 6 years because you could make the decision not to stagger terms, and if you did, then we would have to go back to the 6
Although you
years.
really can't because the legislation,
Right.
Well, that's what I'm
Georgia
saying,
code
so-
says they should be staggered.
So, the member that's on there now has how many years left on his term? 3 or 4?
Johnny?
He's till 26, December 31,
That's
26.
So that's 3 years, and the 2 seats that are open are going to be for,
One will be for 4 years, one will be for 5 years, and then they will all revert to 6 years,
6 years.
but they'll be staggered at
That's
that
correct.
point. So the resolution.
Okay,
yeah.
after the staggering, when they
Yes.
roll over, it'll be time to be 6
Yeah,
years.
so in the
again.
resolution, I assigned them just as posts, so you've got posts 1, 2, and 3, and it
Okay.
kind of makes it easier to see.
So that we don't lose everybody at one time,
Yeah.
we don't have the potential, okay.
All right, taking care of that, there are, let's see here now, I say there are 2, 4, 5 people, look in the book. I think that this is Joe Bailey, Dick Morrow, Brad Weidman, Byron Pierce, and I think Pam Sutton is still on there.
Oh, no, Pam Sutton's name should be coming off.
Scratch that
To be
one.
on the water authority, yes.
It's Joe Bailey, Dick Morrow, Brad Wyman, Byron Pierce,
Yes.
Pamela Sutton.
We'll take hers outright.
Mhm.
We're taking hers out. Okay, that's it. So, I think we all understand what the issue is here. This is just time to get down to vote. If we need to have any questions, not just, the issue is change or not. Joe Bailey's been on the Board of Equalization, so he's been on the other end listening to people complain. And Byron Pierce has been a level 4. Jerry Johnson, just a level 3. So he is qualified. The key thing, as far as I'm concerned, for this selection is who's going to replace Jerry Johnson in the long run. We've got an interim person to be able to do it. If I had my ideal druthers, I would probably have the person who's a level 4 just be on there for 1 year or 2 years, just to get that appointment set up for who that guy is, and then bring in somebody, Pamela Sutton or whoever.
But the least amount of time that we're going to make one of the appointments tonight is going to be for 4 years, right?
That's correct, and you cannot appoint for less than 3 years, and if you appointed for 3 years, it would mess up the whole staggering
So, to
solution.
me, you know,
You,
if
but you could appoint for 4 years, and if they decide, if they resigned, then
That's
you
correct.
could reappoint to fill their unexpired term.
Okay. Well, for me, the big issue is going to be having someone experienced enough to know what to look for in a director. The other thing for me, and I know we have absolutely no say-so over this, and you guys have heard us say it, and we've all said it. We are powerless once we make this appointment.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I don't think that the people who sit on that board or, you know, I don't feel like they're required to come tell us anything, but it would have been really nice to know in January that the amount that the taxes were going to be increased had been something that we were aware of, so that we wouldn't plan our year based on information. Now, I know we can sit here and say, okay, Guy, when we appoint you to this, we need you to understand that there's bigger stuff going on than that. And I mean, I know it's not a requirement.
I don't think it's a requirement, but I think if it's an ask, I think they would do it.
Because it's a problem for me that I feel like we were blindsided.
Yes.
Because by the time we got the information we needed, we had no room to do a
Citizen-
2-minute drill.
Citizen education is their responsibility too. Now,
So-
they don't have the wherewithal to do what we do, but we have got to get people on there that are interested in trying to, they can go to the Griffin Daily News and make stuff themselves.
Right.
And write it up. They can go out and have town halls. They can do
But this
anything
is a
they
great
want.
platform here. So, I mean, if we're able to get them maybe on a quarterly basis to come in and just give us a
Well,
quick update, I would find it very hard that they would not do that. It's not a requirement, we know they don't have to, but I think
No.
it's a strong ask, and I think they would.
Every time I hear myself say to somebody, we don't have any power over them, so we couldn't do anything about the property values going up. It sounds so shallow, because we picked them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you should have gave me a heads up so that our talking points would have been different based on having the accurate information. So I'm just hoping that the people that we get now are going in there to help us understand how we both can work together.
I have to admit, I talked to Joe Bailey a little bit about it. He says, look, I'm on the very end of it where people are coming in there mad as hell at me and saying, I want to change my values and everything else. He said, I want to stop that. I want to get in front of it upstream to be able to, so people know. Right now, the 1 January date has passed. Houses of all, that's the
Yes,
thing.
yes.
And it's all set, so we've got to do that. Joe likes to talk, and we can get him, so, yes,
Okay.
all right.
May I have a change in format real quick? Let me just say this, because I know that we are having a change with our financial officer. We're looking forward to Erica coming in and giving us our reports. And normally what happens in the last years that we've been here, we're asked if there are any questions for us.
Get
I'd kind
ready.
of like to see a little bit more detail as far as more update on the financials to us, rather than asking us if we have questions.
Oh, you're definitely going to see that. One of the things that Erica and I have been working on is a dashboard for our financial information. So you're going to see month over month in a graphical format that shows specifically how our money is progressing from month to month and from year to year. Additionally, there's an RFP that's been issued for a brand-new ERP. So what's exciting about that piece of the puzzle is that a part of the RFP, one of the requirements for those who are going to participate in the RFP is that they will have to, it's a must, be able to showcase the dashboards for us as a board, but also for the community. So how do we present this information back out to our community to drive transparency in government? That's exactly what we want to make sure that we're doing for 2024.
Perfect.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I can say just one thing about the Board of Assessors, it is imperative that this not be tabled, because they have a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning where they
Yeah,
have
we-
to be sworn in.
We
and-
don't have any intentions of tabling it.
I think we know what we're doing. We just
Yeah.
got to make sure that we're, in case there was something between now and 6 o'clock when we start. All
We've
right,
got the clerk of Superior Court coming in the morning to swear them in, so.
okay, thank you. All right, we have some consent agenda items, if you didn't look at your thing, overnight parking and stuff like that we've already went through once before, and we're just trying to make sure that if there's anything else, was there anything else in there that we think we need to talk about before tonight?
The resolution to stagger the terms is on the consent
Yeah.
agenda as well.
We don't have any I don't think there's any
long
questions
as
about us
everybody's
doing
okay
that.
with
Thank
that.
you, thank you for doing that, so that we fix this problem, all the way around. All right, anything else on there?
Okay, so we've kind of went down this list, which is, I think is wonderful, because, but I'm still, how can we streamline this? I don't want it to turn into a long funeral.
I am hoping that we just
Yeah.
What we did.
I think we have an idea what we're doing.
Okay.
Except for one area that may cause a little bit more discussion, but I think we'll get through it.
And that's okay. That's what I want, is,
Mhm.
as long as it's kind of, yep, we know what we're doing, vote, yep, we're vote, yep.
Mhm.
So yes, I'm hoping that we don't get into, if we're gonna get into a discussion that we don't know about, between now and 6 o'clock, please get
Yeah.
a hold of each other so that we're ready to go. All right, excuse me, where are we on this agenda?
You finished.
New business.
No, I'm through with the tonight's agenda. Do you have something you wanna look at?
Yes, number 2 under new business. The request from the Spalding County Water and Sewer Facilities Authority to remove Spalding County as trustee on the trust indenture with Minerva Spring Lake LP, and appoint Spalding County Water and Sewerage Facilities Authority as a trustee on the trust indenture. Do you want to explain that? Do you want me to try to explain it?
Or do you want Joseph to?
Or you want Joseph to explain?
Yes, he can come up here and do that. I just,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, good
if we
point.
can-
It's a lot of words we're not used to looking at,
mhm.
to try to get this squared away. Welcome back, General Manager.
Okay.
Thank you. So the trust indentured was entered into between Minerva and Spalding County back in roughly 2004, 2006. So what that means is that is the entity, so Spalding County is the entity that the state, Georgia Department of Natural Resources Environmental Protection Division would come after in the event that Minerva decided to leave. So with Spalding County not having the resources, obviously the Water and Sewage Facility Authority has that purview where we're the sewer provider for unincorporated Spalding County, so obviously that would come to us. So our board feels that it's better suited for us to be the trustee and not Spalding County, where we can ensure that Minerva's doing what they need to do.
So when we had the waste treatment plant at Highland Mills, and that plant came about because the system failed, the owner of it just left town and left the system over there. Forget, maybe 50 houses where people over there without septic. The responsibility to fix it fell on the county.
That's correct.
And that was because the county was running the day-to-day operations for the water authority. But the water authority has taken over its own day-to-day operations. And since they are the providers, or will be the providers for sewer, it makes sense that if Minerva were to, hey, we don't wanna be in the sewer business anymore, that definitely doesn't need to come to us, because that means we're guaranteeing also that sewer will be provided, and it's not a function of this board to provide sewer and water. So hence, if the indenture is reassigned to the water authority, if something happens down the road, the water authority is the appropriate organization who can take responsibility for continuing to provide sewer and making sure that everything works government-wise.
And they have the revenue. You know, there was an issue of
Yeah,
money.
we're not trying to do sewer over here at all.
Yes. All right. Any
Got
other,
it.
any other comments
Understood.
that we need to have?
Nope,
from
I think it
anybody?
was well presented. Thank you, Joseph.
Okay, way to go, Joseph. Good, we did that. And if you remember, this also kind of got into the planning and zoning when we told, hey, if you don't sign, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, anything else on the list?
So yeah, this is the agreement that was supposed to happen, not with us, but with the entity and the water authority is what we're talking about.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Okay, anything else here?
I've got
Not on
one
that
more.
one.
If the chair would be so inclined to listen to the pickle that I think we are in. So on your desk, you will see a portion of a timeline that I would like to share with you and ask for your thoughts. In 2007, if you look on that side of the page, the county actually purchased a number of Engine 1 custom engines for the cost of $350,000 each. In December of '21, this board actually provided us, through a strategic view of our purchase program for replacing our fire apparatus, the opportunity to purchase two Sutphen custom pumpers They were ordered at $650,000 each. We will take delivery of those expected next month, February of 2024. In 2022, through that strategic plan, this board afforded us the opportunity to purchase 3 additional pumpers. They were ordered at $780,000 each. That's how much the increase in the supply chain went up just in 1 year. We're expecting delivery of those vehicles the end of '25, the beginning of '26, and as of the last discussion that I had with Chief Byrd, those are looking more like '26 for delivery. Last month, December of 2023, one of our engines was involved in a motor vehicle accident, and that vehicle was totaled. We are in need of a replacement for that vehicle, as the vehicles that were discussed previously are replacing older pieces of equipment. As of today, we've had an engine fail. It was the 1997 Pierce Sabre. It suffered a catastrophic motor failure requiring full engine rebuild, costing $24,000, and this will take 8 months to obtain all of the parts to just repair that engine. But again, this is a 1997 vehicle. If you turn the page over, January of 2024, we have 2 mini pumpers in support, and we should we have another engine fail, we would be required to replace the engine with 2 mini pumpers, because we would not be in a position where we could purchase engines because of the lead time on those pieces of equipment. This would potentially put us out of compliance with NFPA. Also, we have 2 additional units that are currently serving our community that are in need of major repairs, but we're waiting on the arrival of the 2 new units that we are expecting in February 24 to pull those out of service to do those repairs. February 2022, we will receive 2 of the engines, as we've already discussed. 2025 through 2026, we will receive 3 additional units in support of replacement. But here is the need that we have. Thanks to Chief Byrd and the work that he has done over the course of the last week, Thursday afternoon, we were notified by Sutphen, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but SUTPHEN, that there was a vehicle that's currently on their production line that the jurisdiction that ordered that had pulled out of that order. So that order is available. It's available to be delivered in March. And the opportunity for the purchase price of that vehicle is $935,000 because of the increased cost in supply chain. The challenge, if we make the decision not to move forward with this purchase, but to purchase a vehicle for the replacement and use one of the vehicles that we currently have on order that will be delivered this year, not next year or the following year, and make the decision to make an additional purchase for down the line. The current lead time on the production line is 40 months. The fire fund balance that we have in hand is $7.4 million, and staff is making a recommendation that this board consider the lease purchase for the replacement of the vehicle that was totaled last month and take delivery of this engine. If we do that, it would be delivered in March. It would afford us the opportunity to stay on track with our strategic plan for replacement of vehicles. It's an interesting dynamic because late Friday afternoon, we did send a letter to Sutphen about asking them to hold the purchase decision for us for 14 days. That's as long as they will allow us to hold that decision. If we go beyond the 14 days, then they offer it back up for purchase. And our concern is that another jurisdiction, because this is a national company, another jurisdiction will grab this engine very quickly. If the board is so inclined to consider that for this meeting this evening, that would be awesome. Because we're struggling right now with equipment. And Chief Byrd is here to answer any questions that you may have concerning the struggles that we're going through with the equipment.
All right, what happens what impact will your budget have on this if we purchase the 935?
Okay, so we have the two, can you hear me okay? We have the two options. One would be pay for it straight out of the fund balance, which we'd rather not do. If we do the lease, we will do everything within our powers to try to make our budgets accommodating to make the lease payment, but we would have to possibly pull some money out of fund balance to cover the lease payment, because where we had planned for 2, we'd be having 3 lease payments due in this current cycle of our budget. So it would be impactful, but we do have reserves in place to handle it. The fear is if we have one more catastrophic failure of one of those trucks, we're in really big trouble. And the 1997 Pierce Saber, we've been trying to keep it going and going and going. It's old. It's just, we knew when we started asking for this, it wasn't going to last forever, but it went down. And when they assessed it, it's just, as of Friday, it's going to have to do a total rebuild. So that really puts us in another bind.
So we pay $935 or whatever, $935 on lease purchase, and then we get this almost immediately.
No, that's not the lease purchase price, is it?
Well, that's the price, and we call it a lease, but it's finance package. But we would go ahead and get it. It would take us, we would probably get it about the same time as the other 2, but it would give us the security of having 3 engines in place when we've got 3 other ones right now that are those 2007s that they could go at any date as well.
Okay. You're okay with all this numbers crunching that he's talking about? Okay. Thank you. I want to make sure everybody's talking the same sheet. Okay.
Ms. Rita, do you have a question?
Okay, I guess I'm trying to understand. The 935, you're saying is the lease purchase price. That's not the, what is the price that, I'm just asking.
The sale price is $935.
Yeah, a lease purchase is sort of misleading. It's a dollar about lease. So it is a purchase price for the vehicle. It's just the way that the finance package is built.
Okay.
It'll spread it out so we don't have to come out with the $935,000 now.
Spread out. I got you.
So my concern in having all of these other trucks ordered, have we started paying anything on the lease purchase?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we ordered all of these trucks back 2 years ago, and I don't know what the fund balance was at that time in the fire department. But when I raised my hand to vote on this, it was based on the fact that I saw that you could technically have enough money if you needed to have a fire truck, especially the first one. Without knowing what the number is that is required for you to run your department, and I'm sure that that doesn't come out of the general fund, that comes out of the fire tax.
Yes, ma'am. It comes out of the fire district tax.
So
I think I
these
said that right.
prices for these vehicles are not, if they're lease purchased, they're gonna have to be affected in your basic general fund.
No, they still come, if you're make sure I understand what you're asking me. They still will be paid for out of the fire district tax.
Right, but everything with the fire department comes out of the fire district tax, but there is a portion of the fire district tax that is set aside as a fund balance. You have an operating expense, and then you have a fund balance.
That is correct. The fund balance currently is sitting at $7.4 million. You're asking the same question that I asked Chief Burt earlier, is there a time within the repayment program where you would be in need of using any fund balance in order to make payments? There is a time that there would be a need to pull monies from the fund balance, but it appears that it's in 2027, and
roughly
it's
2027.
maybe one payment. He has run the numbers. Erica has run the numbers with him. We've had that discussion. The question that I had for Chief Byrd was, looking forward with the growth that's anticipated with the county, is it absorbable for you not having to use any fund balance at all for 2027 for that one payment? There is a probability that we would not have to go into that fund balance, but the fund balance is there and would continue to build between now and 2027.
So with 3 different lease purchases, I guess the thing that I don't understand is a lease purchase is just like any other financing. If the truck costs $700,000, once we pay the difference in the lease, what is the difference? What is the financing difference?
There's no residual. A lease purchase program under ACCG's financial package is a dollar buyout. So you pay for the vehicle for, what are we running now? Are we running 7 or, we're running 4 years?
I think it's 4 years, yes.
Yeah, we're running, so at the end of 4 years, at the end of the payment, you pay $1 and it's yours.
It works the same way that
It's just
regular
financing.
works.
They call it a lease, but it's really just a finance package.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing then is that the payments on lease purchase will come out of their general fund?
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay, but if they haven't started doing that, if you have, even based on this $935,000 for this additional truck that we say we could possibly get, that's about $4.5 million in total cost. So how is the collection of the fire tax going to project enough money to make up $4.5 million over 4 years?
What was your monthly payments?
I'd have to go back and figure, but right now, I'd have to go back and pull my
We
computer
want
up
to
to
make
get
sure
that
we're giving
exact.
you exact numbers, but we have run those numbers to ensure that the money is there.
I mean,
So-
obviously, we can't predict the future, but as of right now, we feel very secure with that.
So I'm not real, see,
There's interest, there's
I
an interest
don't,
there too.
I don't know, in your fund balance, I don't know if you're thinking to yourself, I need 6 months of operating costs. You got $7.4 million. How many days of operations staff for the fire department?
Chief Polk, quick.
Does anybody know?
We're just about done. It's okay, it's okay.
Come up, Glenn, please.
So our budget this year was $9 million. So how much we say, $8 million in fund balance?
Roughly 180 days.
Yeah.
So the fund balance that we have now is for 180 days of it can fund operations. The 7.4 would cover 180 days. And I think that is admirable. We would love to be able to be there. I don't know if you guys think that you need 6 months worth of fund balance, but I'm just trying to figure out if the payment over the next 4 years per each truck is $10,000 a month, where will that extra money come from to be, because we know that we're gonna be collecting a certain amount for fire tax. We can pretty much tell you what that is gonna be. And with this additional, once you start the lease purchase, you will be having a payment for 4 vehicles if we go with not purchasing straight out the vehicle that we can get right now. So that is my concern is, where do you see the generation of that income into your general fund so that we can afford this? And I'm kind of like, you got 180 days worth of fund balance, just buy the truck at $935 and have it, and then you can figure out your lease purchase. Because four fire truck payments, we're projecting, we're not there yet, but in 2 years, we don't know what our money is gonna look like. And so, we're
We
gonna
would-
be struggling paying for 3.
Oh, I hear you, and I think you've got a valid point. We would welcome the opportunity, either through a purchase program using financing by ACCG or an outright purchase of this vehicle. Simply because I think we're in a challenging time. We are working to replace a product that was damaged at no fault of our own, that, by the way, we are not getting a lot of money for at the end of the day. Not a lot at all.
Well, I mean, we
So-
beat the truck up. The truck is
We-
almost 20 years old.
We beat the trucks up.
So-
We do.
so, I mean,
So
there's-
I appreciate that, and if you guys would consider placing that on the agenda this evening as an amendment, we could use your support to move us forward.
So, Erica,
No, the cash price is exactly the same as the purchase price. We could ask Mike to go back and beat on them some more and ask them if we pay cash, if they would give us any additional concessions.
I will ask, but this was an established relationship to even get this truck, and they offered us basically what they could because they knew we were in a bad fix. But it was as a personal favor.
So $1 million from the fire tax fund balance will leave $6.4 million, which will be
Roughly
4 and a
5 months.
half months
Correct.
worth of fund balance. And that is your rainy day money.
It is.
And instead of having 6 months of fund balance, you'll have 4 months of fund balance, which we know we got like 4 days.
But if the
sitting
cash
up here.
price is the same,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
then spreading it out, it makes more
Right,
sense.
so
It does.
my-
It makes more
my-
sense to spread it out.
My point.
Especially given the rate of inflation.
And we would
Is-
do everything we could to add to that fund balance every year. So if we spread it out, we could possibly increase that fund balance and make our rainy day fund even better
That's
versus
correct.
reducing it right out of the gate. And that was just kind of our way of looking at it. But again, we recommend whatever you decide, we'll be happy with.
Well, I'm just trying to understand, because nobody can give me the real number. Under a normal fund balance for, say, the truck that we got for $650K. Okay, so if we started that fund balance today, what would that payment look like every month or whatever, how we're paying it, or annually?
We can definitely give you what the payment price is gonna be.
Okay, so, and whatever, say it's $500. Well, for 3 vehicles or 4 vehicles, that's $2,000 a month, or however it goes, or
Right.
$200,000 at the end of the year. So my question is, where is that $200,000 gonna come into your new budget? Cause that has to be added annually to make that payment. That is what I'm
Worst
concerned
case,
about.
we can take it out of the fund balance as it goes, like as it.
All right,
So
Well,
the
it-
answer, sorry, please forgive me.
why don't you go look at your numbers, get ready to answer the commissioner's question, and at 5:45, come back here, answer her questions, so that when we get at the 6 o'clock meeting, you have all the information you need, and we'll-
Because what I'm just trying to look for is, if we do the entire thing on fund balance, what is that gonna look like monthly? What is that gonna look like annually, added to what you're normally spending? Whatever all you got, employee salaries, benefits, and how will that money be generated? I mean, we are not raising the fire tax. The millage rate,
But I think Steve you were finishing your thought. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Yep, so we did not change the millage rate for the fire district fund, and the valuations last year went up, so there were a little additional funds that came into the fire program to do exactly that, purchase vehicles.
well, but we don't know that. I mean, is it a secret? That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at, y'all. I'm trying to
Right.
get some figures.
Right.
And you're telling me it's okay, or it's okay, but I can't see that. And I'm just at that place now. If I can't see it, I'm not good
Right.
with it.
I get it.
5:45.
Make sure I understand what you're asking. You
Come
want
back
to,
here with the numbers, go get your numbers, come back here.
I got it.
Brief Commissioner Flowers Taylor.
All of us.
And then we'll wait until 6 o'clock. We'll change the agenda to put this on, because this is time sensitive. And then hopefully Commissioner
Yeah.
Flowers Taylor will have the answer she wants, and then we'll be able to vote on it.
Right, I'm not saying at all that we don't need to get this
Well, no,
other
I
truck.
understand. We gotta,
I understand.
we
Because
gotta
we
ask
gotta
the
get it.
question.
It's just a matter of how we're going to
I'm
purchase
just,
it.
yeah.
I get
we're
that,
looking
I
down the
do.
road, how we're gonna be paying
We
for the
gotta have
rest of it.
confidence in what we're doing.
and I appreciate it. I just make sure we're getting what the monthly payment, a yearly payment would be with the addition of this for the lease purchase. Is that correct?
And I'll give you in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry to be late, I do have a question about the wrecked fire truck. Are we gonna get anything, any kind of insurance restitution?
Erica and I spent time on the phone with ACCG, who spent time on the phone with Farmers Insurance on Friday, and it appears that we will receive roughly $86,000 for the vehicle.
Out of a 900,000.
Out of
Well, wasn't the guy cited?
he was.
So why can't we add restitution of whatever it is?
Or they just pay the fair market value on the.
Property
That's
damage, they're
correct.
just gonna pay the
Yeah,
fair market
they're
It's
value.
an
gonna-
old vehicle.
2007.
They're not going to make you whole. They're going to pay whatever the
No, they
vehicle's
won't.
worth
Right.
now.
Well, all right, well, I'll I'll argue that next time my clients come up, because they've never done that to any of my clients before.
Okay, all right, anything else?
I think that's it.
No, sir.
Okay, wait a minute, let's talk a little bit about the moratorium.
Yes.
Okay,
Because there's some kind of new state law, thank you guys, about being able to have moratoriums and there only being a 90-day amount of time that you can do it, and then you can't flip it over the next day and do it again.
I
So when
believe
I,
it's 180, not 90, but yes, you can't do 180, wait a day, and then do 180 again. We're not looking for that. There are items that we are working through. Newton, myself, Eva, TJ, Kelly, Lance. I have a list of items that we are going through to ensure that there is I want to call it a clean transition from Sunnyside to Spalding, but it has had a couple of hiccups. That would be my best way to describe that.
so how
Just a couple, though. It
is
could be a lot.
Sunnyside?
That's true.
How is Sunnyside represented in our comprehensive transportation plan and our comprehensive master plan for the county?
So they were included in the comprehensive plan, but according to Newton, because he and I have had considerable conversations about this, we have to, as a county, go back and redefine what the zoning is for that community, and apply our zoning to those residents in commercial properties. Additionally, there are some other items that we need to go through to help alleviate any of the business license that were presented by Sunnyside. And Eva's group is working through those reissuance of business license so that those businesses understand what our requirements are and they are in compliance with our requirements.
So the businesses that are located on 19 and 41 that were licensed through Sunnyside will have to meet our county requirements
That is
in order
correct.
to be relicensed.
That is
And
correct.
And I think that that is a good thing. I'm just trying to figure out in the future land use and even in our zoning, you know, we have a fairly decent intersection somewhere up there in Sunnyside off of 19 and 41. Is it already zoned commercial? Do we go a block away and say that this is where the commercial area ends? When you get on the other side of the track, is that AR1 or is that R1? Yeah, I want to know
Yes,
how.
ma'am, that's where that moratorium comes into play. It gives us enough time to go through those challenges and make sure that we are presenting it correctly, not only to our VOC, but also to our employees so that they understand what the requirements are as we move forward. You've also got the North Expressway Overlay District that will be in play on 1941 there in the former Sunnyside. So there are a lot of things at play. Newton has been very instrumental in leading the charge with us because he was Sunnyside's attorney. But he's being instrumental with the county side because he is our zoning attorney, so he's helping us walk through those journeys.
So I just, I'm trying to figure out if are we going to have to go in and change the flume? And then.
I don't think we have to go in and change the flume specifically because it's a characteristic map and we're going to be able to associate the zoning for former Sunnyside into our master plan.
Okay.
okay, do I have anything else we want to talk about? All right, I have a motion to adjourn till 6 o'clock.
Motion to adjourn till 6 o'clock.
And second, all right, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're adjourned.
You want to get too close?
Real quick.
Yeah, you sound like it.
I'll be right back.